At long last, we have the 99th episode of the AstoundCast for you guys.
Yes.
Woohoo! One more. Well, actually, no. The next one is 100.
Yeah, one more and then it's 100.
That is insanity.
It really is.
Anyway, how has your week been?
Oh my god. It's been hectic, but it's been alright. Because, if people can't tell with like the desk thing slightly, I'm in a different place. I am back at uni, so.
Hell yeah. Which is why there was no AstoundCast last weekend, because you were still exhausted from travelling and I just wasn't feeling it right.
Let me put it this way. I didn't sleep from I didn't sleep at least 24 hours from the Friday previous.
Oh, good Jesus.
So I was traveling at like 3 a.m. after I went out and played Magic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes.
So kind of tired from that. This week's been really busy, so kind of tired as well. But
Yeah,
it's better than last week, definitely.
fair enough.
How about you? How's your week been?
Illness.
Illness.
As you guys know, for most of the week, I had a stinking cold. Like, it was horrific. Of course, couple that with my shunt pains, well, that just made for a whole week of hell. So, it's been a bit of a long week, a bit of a torturous week as well, to be honest, as well. So, yeah, not the best week on record for me, but I survived. That'll do.
You survived.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we move on to this week's almost non-existent motorsport section?
Yeah, might as well.
And by that I mean I'm just going to quickly reiterate what I've already talked about, just in case people have missed the F1 info from this last week. Firstly, Yuki Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo have both been confirmed to be AlphaTauri, or whatever their new name is, that their drivers for next year. And now it seems that the bidding war between Hugo Boss and Adidas for the team is very much heating up. So who's going to be the new team? The new team name, I don't know, but it'll be them drivers regardless. Of course, Liam Lawson has been stricken with a reserve driver seat once again, which frankly, I can't understand that. He has over the last, and I don't know how he's been slammed with a reserve seat. Like, that is just insanity, because as I mentioned in my F1 video, I think as of now, Liam Lawson has scored more points than all of the other AlphaTauri drivers from this season combined.
Oh damn.
And he's been slapped with a reserve driver role.
Yeah, logic is out of the window.
Yeah, that doesn't make any shred of sense. And, I was watching a video about Nick De Vries coming into F1 this season a few days ago, and the reason Nick De Vries was chosen over any of the other Red Bull Junior drivers is because none of them were ready for F1, according to Dr. Helmut Marko, the man who runs the F1 Junior program for Red Bull.
Oh wow.
So I'm going to point something out right now that may seem fairly obvious.
Yep.
Right. Dr. Helmut Marko is the one who runs the driver development program, right?
Yeah, so if he doesn't think that they're ready, I don't think he's doing a good job.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they're not ready, whose fault is that?
His training program.
But whose fault is it specifically?
Whoever's training
Like,
them.
I could could see he was so close to the revelation, but just. And yeah, I'm like, well, if you're running the driver development program and none of the drivers in the program are ready for F1, you may want to change the program a bit.
You may want to rethink who is teaching your program.
Yeah. Like, so, yeah, I think Nick DeVries could have had a good career in F1, to be honest, if he had a bit more time in an F1 car and maybe gone with a car that he was more familiar with, like the Williams. But I think I did forget to mention this in my F1 video. I knew that was something I was forgetting. Nick DeVries is going to actually be returning to motorsports in Formula E with the Mahindra racing team, because, of course, his old team, Mercedes, isn't there anymore.
All right.
Yeah, Mercedes dropped out at the end of last season, and the team was bought by McLaren. So the Mercedes Formula E team is actually now McLaren.
Wow.
So unfortunately, Nick couldn't quite go home to his Formula E place of residence. Decent amount of success. So hopefully he can make waves back in Formula E, much like he was used to.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it for this week's motorsport section, because that's all there is, really. Yeah, there's not too much to go over this weekend for the motorsport section, because, well, as I mentioned, there's no F1 race, but there is something else I just want to quickly re-mention. It's looking very likely that Daniel Ricciardo will not be in Qatar either due to his injuries, which means Liam Lawson will get another chance to prove why he should have been considered for one of the actual race seats for next year.
Swings and roundabouts, swings and roundabouts.
However, will that actually make them rethink their decision? Probably not.
You don't think?
I don't think so. Like, Red Bull wouldn't announce a driver lineup and then a week later change it.
Fair point.
I know they've made some quick decisions in the past, but they're not going to do that.
I see.
I don't think. But there is also now rumours, according to F1 TV commentator Lawrence Barretto as well, that if there is a driver swap for Red Bull in 24, so like say end of the season or mid-season with Sergio Perez, it's understood to be that Daniel Ricciardo will be the one replacing Checo Perez should he be dropped by Red Bull either mid-season or end of the season next year.
Oh my.
Now, that is just one commentator's opinion, but frankly, I'm struggling to disagree with him. I really, really am. So, yeah, I think that could be a way that Liam Lawson gets that AlphaTauri seat if Daniel Ricciardo, well, leaves the team and moves up to Red Bull like he used to be. But we'll have to just wait and see. Yeah, that's it for this week's motorsport section, because that's kind of it, really. Nothing else has really happened.
A fair point.
Now, on to this week's entertainment section. And, well, as we know, thankfully, the Writers Guild of America strike is now over. All their demands were finally met by the AMPTP. Now, hells yes. Now, this has also led to the AMPTP now locking their eyes on the Screen Actors Guild strike, which, as I mentioned a couple of days ago, the talks for that will be resuming tomorrow.
Good God.
Now, I'm not sure of the exact time of the talks, but as I understand it, the Pacific Coast, which is the time zone that Hollywood is in, is quite a bit behind us.
Just a tad, yeah.
Yeah, it's right now 10 a.m., so it's going to be quite late in the day in the UK when the talks start, probably.
Yeah.
like, I know the writer's strike ended at 12 p.m. Pacific time, so that was 8 o'clock here.
Just a tiny bit behind, you know.
Yeah, so again, this week we could see an end to the actors' strike as well because the writers' strike negotiations was literally a week of just 10-hour days of negotiation.
Well, they knew what they
Just
wanted and they knew how to get it.
yeah, basically it was a case of, well, if you're not going to agree to what we're asking for, we're just not going to work, and well, that won't last very long, will it?
Yeah,
Let's face it, you can't live out without us forever.
true. They don't have the AI for it yet.
No. And again, I've been looking at the actors. I've been looking at the actors' demands, and I've got to be honest, they're not very far from they're not very far from each other. The what they want. So hopefully, this deal can be agreed to pretty quickly.
Let's hope.
Fingers crossed. Because as you guys know, there's been a few things that have come out since the writer strike started that I have really been wanting to talk about, but haven't been able to because of the strike. But as the strike does end, I think I'm going to do it weekly, so I'll talk about one thing every week. I haven't decided on what day I should do that yet, though.
Well, think of that. Also, we have a comment.
Ah, yeah, we do. I can't see it now, though, unfortunately.
Okay, so it's from Ray, or Wednesday as the username, but it's Ray.
Ah,
Did you hear Rick Astley made a part 2 to Never Gonna Give You Up?
no.
Yeah, no, neither have I. So this is either going to be set up to a joke or this is an actual serious thing. Either way, hi Ray.
I and frankly, knowing Ray, it could go either way.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll keep an eye on the chat thing for you.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully the actors' strike can be hopefully wrapped up this week because I know there are several things that were in production or just at the start of production that got cut short very quickly because of it as well.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on how the negotiations are going because again, as the actors' demands are so similar to that of the writers, I do have a feeling that this deal could be agreed upon pretty quickly as well.
They need writers to stay in business, therefore, it's in their best interest.
Yeah, and as I said in my video, scripts aren't much good without actors to perform them.
Very true.
Like, if you've got script, you kind of need the actors too. They kind of go hand in hand.
True, although this makes me think I should have taken the optional screenwriting module.
Ah well.
I'm of writing, so
And there is
a case of that.
something that I don't know if I can mention because, God, it's a tricky one because he is an actor, but he's also in the writing room for the film that's just gone back into script writing. But I don't know.
If it's dubious
There's a
content,
very
then the answer is if it's dubious content and you think that there is something up to it, the answer is don't say it unless you have 100% certainty you're safe.
yeah, fair because it is a film he is involved with, but he's also one of the writers for it. So, yeah, very strange. So I won't mention it just yet. But yeah, I'm hoping these strikes can be over soon. But as I did mention in my video on this, there is now a looming threat of a video game actors strike.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yes. as you know, since the actors' strike has come about, I've kind of fallen on video game content.
Just a tad, yeah.
And, well, I've got to be honest, I don't really have a third backup.
The third backup is just you doing challenges like Mr. Beast does.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not quite as rich as him.
We just do makeshift stuff. You have to make
Yeah.
your own props.
Hmm?
You have to make your own props.
Yeah, like, I'm hope, like, I'm hoping that they kind of sync up in a way. Like, I am hoping that the actor strike can end soon, but as I understand, the video game strike could also start soon potentially.
Well, let's hope that it doesn't, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah. But I do want to say something about the actors' strike negotiations. Um, Unlike the the writers who had this attempt at negotiations that they just completed was their third attempt at negotiations.
All right.
This is the actors' first.
Wow.
So if they can get this first time, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Because I believe there was some negotiations with the actors lined up about a month or two ago, but they just didn't happen.
All right.
Because I think it clashed with one of the negotiation attempts with the writers.
Uh,
So I think the actors basically said, well, we can't really do anything without scripts, so deal with them first and then come to us.
which makes a lot of sense.
Because while I said, scripts aren't much good without actors, kind of works the other way too.
You kind of need access to work with the scripts.
Sure, they can do improv, but when it's a film based on a certain thing, you kind of need a set script.
Yeah, because everyone will do research differently.
Yeah, so the actors, I'm hoping their strike can end soon so they can actually get back to work and we can start enjoying the content again. Week because there's just not much happening.
It's just one of those weeks where everything is slow and painful.
Yeah. There is one thing I want to mention that's video game related while I still can.
Yeah.
Um, Rainbow Six Siege has just started a collaboration with Halo.
Ooh, nice.
You can unlock the Master Chief in Rainbow Six Siege, which is super cool.
Love that.
Because Halo doesn't really do many crossovers, as it's an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
So this sort of thing is quite rare, so I'm very glad to see that it has happened. Um, uh, so that's kind of the entertainment section done for this week. So what's been happening on your end?
Right. So it's been first week of uni has been like busy, to say the least, but it's been
Hmm,
quite nice.
good.
So yeah, like Thursday inductions and stuff to figure out what's going on, figure out who's in my class and everything. And I didn't. I mean, I say this to quite a few people now, but I wasn't expecting such a close sort of, not like a close knit per se, but kind of like a close community with when it comes to like the creative writing class, because everyone's quite nice. Everyone's passionate about like writing in a way,
Good.
and even with when we were sharing like work on Wednesday, when we did mini work, I get terrified with that sort of stuff because I don't tend to share my stuff. Because never
Yeah.
had the positive feedback last, because it's like either it's too stupid or childish. So I wrote something and I brought it along, and I had the majority like positive feedback from it, and I wasn't expecting that. And other people sharing their
Oh,
stuff was positive too.
bonus.
In that room, there was like no judgment, and from the people who I'm with, I'm still a bit iffy on if there is like any sort of judgment or not, but it seems like from the people who are in there, there's like no judgment from anybody for what you like, what you don't like.
Good.
It's it's odd to me because I'm not used to that.
Hmm.
Because you know how stuff can be like back in Wrexham.
Yeah, very.
So it's a case of I'm not used to that environment, and even with my course for the past 3 years for journalism, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. But it wasn't like a close knit sort of thing where people would go and do activities and stay over after classes. With this, it was a case of
Yeah.
we not only made a group chat within the first week, went to like almost every event with these four people attending, but
Hmm.
also before our last lecture on the Friday, we ended up coming in an hour early to for people who didn't get to read out on the Friday, on the Wednesday that was, people who didn't get to read out on the Wednesday were able to bring their work to like a session that we held on our own and just read it out there, and we all gave each other feedback.
Wow.
Yeah, and then stayed after class in order to just keep talking to each other over like a drink or something
That's
over
really
that.
cool.
Yeah, it was. This is what the typical uni experience I thought was going to be like versus the one that we got.
Yeah.
Like doing
Yeah, I
all
was going to say,
sorts.
like, now you're probably getting what the uni experience should have been if COVID wasn't around.
Yeah, it's it's odd, but it's nice, and think
Yeah.
think I prefer having that experience now versus having it.
When you first got there.
Yeah, consider because you know how like bad the first year was.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
To be fair, that year 2020 to 2021 kind of bad for both of us.
It was kind of, let's be honest, kind of bad for the whole planet.
True, but we both know
Yeah,
that
we
it's
didn't have a. Yeah. Neither of us had a great time.
yeah. In the context I'm talking about for us too, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, we. Yeah, 2020, 2021 wasn't the best.
But with everything now, I think I'm happy being able to have this experience now with knowing that not only my class is quite comfortable talking to each other, but also the fact that even with the years that are above and below us, they're also quite friendly to talk to, and everyone's just giving each other like places to go, books to recommend. If they're not too familiar with the world of going to like open mics, where to potentially what they could find, that sort of stuff. I end up helping out with people on the camp, with like some of the people I'm talking to on the campus because I've been to that campus before while they haven't, so I just point out stuff.
Mm.
There are people who are more into finding like open mics for poetry and prose, and they're able to recommend that sort of stuff because I've got one guy in my class, Matt, who has sent at least like one or two things to the group chat already for
Mm-hmm.
opportunities, and
Hmm.
he has like so much confidence. If I could get any advice from him, I'm gonna be asking at some point how does he do it being able
Yeah.
to stand up and speak, because his poetry is on a different level. How he says it is on a different level. It's you'd have to be there
Yeah.
because I've seen him read his stuff out, and it is a work of art.
Yeah.
And like all the people in my class are talented, and everyone on the course everyone on the courses are talented, and those who have ended up standing up and reading, like at the last open mic I was at, which was part of my freshers, they were all really good too. And it's a kick, so it also makes you think: am I sure I'm right for this course?
Yes, you are.
So yeah, it's a really comfortable place where I know that even if I muck up on a piece, there will always be something good to see in it, and
Yeah,
who just share what they like. And in that group as well, we're
yeah.
able to send our pieces in there and be like, "Hey, I've recently done a piece. Can somebody like look over it and give me your opinions, all that sort of stuff?" And you can just do that, and people will give feedback if they look at it.
That is actually really cool.
Yeah, it's just nice to see what people have done. And at this point, I might just start making like a folder of everything of what people have done. Actually,
That's not a bad idea.
well, correction, I've already started with stuff that people have sent. I've started a folder to like keep it all
Huh,
safe and sound because I like the work.
that is a pretty good idea.
Plus, it means that if I have any sort of inspiration, I can just note back to which one I got it from.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, no, I like my course. It was on a whim that, partially on a whim that I applied for it because they kicked me off the first one
Yeah.
going to, but I knew that I already had that as a second choice, and I don't regret this in the slightest because I like my teachers. I like the teachers. There's one
Good.
teacher I think you would like because he has different Mario shirts or like Mario jumpers,
Yes.
and his mum ended up knitting them.
Oh my god, that is so cool.
I know. If apparently he had like two or three knitted ones, but he had given one away to a friend because they were in like a distressful time and they needed support, which is quite sweet.
Damn.
But yeah, if I could get like a picture of that again, I would show you. But I didn't take a
That is,
picture.
that is honestly really cool, though.
Yeah, he's a nice teacher too. I've got him for at least one of my lessons. I've got.
Oh. Your signal was just breaking up a little bit then, but you're all good now.
Yeah, I've got him for at least one of my lessons, but I do have other teachers too, and
Fair enough.
and a really big surprise. Every one of them has a PhD.
Wow.
They are all doctors.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, but it's also terrifying.
But at least you know you're getting some damn good education.
Yeah, true, and I know how hard it is to get a PhD sorted. Believe me, I've edited one.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the
Well then.
experience for you for a week.
Yeah, I can't lie. University life is something that I've never experienced.
If I could drag you down here and help you experience it for a week, I would.
I might just take you up on that someday.
Sure, you can sleep on my bed. I'll take the floor.
That would feel weird. Like, I'm the guest. How? What?
Yeah, guest gets bed. The floor is comfortable anyway.
Good. I think.
I'm not gonna let you sleep on the floor. That would be impolite to my guest.
Honestly, I've never really wanted to go to uni.
Oh yeah.
I've got to be honest. There was a point where I wasn't going to go to college.
Oh right. What changed your mind?
I don't know. I think it was just kind of a Oh, screw it.
Hmm.
I don't know, it was much of a catalyst to change. It was just more of what the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was a good couple of months where I thought, do I want to go to college? Don't think so.
But then you tried it anyway.
Yeah, and then I've only just finished.
Hey, at least it kept you busy for this long.
Yeah, wasn't quite planning to be there this long, thanks COVID. Yeah, totally not putting the blame on anything in particular there.
No, not at all.
No. Um, but there is a TV show that I can talk about because it isn't covered by the strikes.
Doctor Who?
Ding ding ding.
Thoughts out.
On Friday, there was a concert down in Cardiff showcasing some old songs from old pieces of music from the old series, as well as some of the music from the new era yet to be revealed officially.
Ooh.
And they included the theme for the 15th Doctor, the theme for the new companion Ruby Sunday, and the new Doctor Who theme going forward.
Yeah. I'm sorry, they named her Ruby Sunday.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And she's going to be played by Millie Gibson, who I believe was in Coronation Street.
Oh damn.
I believe because I don't watch soap operas, so I wouldn't know any standard actor from a Coronation Street actor,
It's been a while
unless
since
a bit of. So I believe she was in Coronation Street. Those definitely, please let me know. Yeah, they revealed those on Friday, and they will be broadcast 2 on the 15th of October.
Nice.
And in a bit of a first, they had present at the concert all three showrunners of the new Doctor Who era.
Oh wow.
That includes the original, the second showrunner, Stephen Moffat, and the recently departed from the show, Chris Chibnall.
Oh
Now,
wow.
I was very surprised to see Chris Chibnall there because, well, as we know, his era of Doctor Who wasn't very popular, to say the least. Um, and it's very widely considered one of the worst by the fandom. So to see him there was quite a surprise, to be honest.
Well,
Especially that he only just part. Don't get me wrong, though, a pleasant surprise. Very, very much so.
to be fair, he did shape part of the Doctor Who franchise, therefore, still valid.
Oh yeah, he's made a hell of an impact on the franchise, like changing the entire backstory of the Doctor. But that's a video for another day,
True.
because that is a hell of a lot of controversy to get into. Yeesh.
So you say you don't have any content to do if video games are done. You still got Doctor Who.
This is very true. And with the 60th anniversary coming up, more information is going to be released. So,
Yeah, I've seen some of like them because I think I've already said Magic the Gathering are going to be releasing cards based on Doctor Who as well.
yeah, yes, and I've seen some of those. And they look really good.
A friend of mine, they're going to be getting all four of the decks that are going to be available.
Ooh. Ooh.
So, and they've kindly said when I come back in December, I'm gonna be trying them out as well.
Oh wow.
I've seen the River Song card at least, and that looks good.
Yeah, I have so far seen River Song, the 10th Doctor,
Yep.
the 4th.
Nice.
I
There are Weeping Angel cards.
know for a fact that I've seen the 9th. Yeah, I think I've seen the Weeping Angel too, but I know for a fact that I've seen River Song and the 4th Doctor at the very least.
I'll give you some funny controversy for it. I say controversy, it's just something that people have pointed out once or twice, which is the Weeping Angel cards. I believe they don't have flying, and then some people have asked, why don't the angels have flying? And you people who know the context of Doctor Who are just thinking, like, what do you mean they are stone angels?
They are statues.
Statues, why would they be flying?
They don't. Oh.
The angels, why don't they have flying? Because they're statues.
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, God.
That's a funny one.
Yeah, and hey, I've just realised something.
What?
You know how that Doctor Who trailer came out like a week and a half ago?
Yep.
One that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened. Whoops. I knew I was forgetting something.
Well, you still have time.
Well, I was going to say that's tomorrow's video sorted.
Yeah. Although, speaking of videos, because for some reason we do all these brainstorming stuff on, like, while we're talking about this, for all the programs that you haven't been able to, like, review, how are you thinking of doing that?
Huh. Right. Okay. Very fair question. As you'll have seen when I cover other shows that I don't do episode on. So, like, there are some shows that I do first episode, mid-season, end of season, right?
Right.
I'm gonna do them like so. I'm gonna do it in. So I'm gonna do the end of season ones. Like it's gonna be my thoughts on the show as a whole,
Okay.
or film in some cases, because there are 2 or 3 that have come out since the strike that I do want to talk about as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna cover them like that. So I'm gonna do them. So I'm gonna do the end of season thoughts for each of the shows. But as you know, there was 2 that I was midway through covering as the strike started. So I'll give my thoughts on those from where I left off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, of course, there was one show that had 2 episodes left, and then there was one that had 5 left. So I will cover those shows from where I left off. Whereas for the others, I'll be covering them in their entirety.
That sounds like an idea.
Yeah, I can't lie. That's been something I've been thinking about myself as well. Because I know that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
It's just the how. Hmm?
yeah, because you're able to record them again. So it's a case of maybe because I know we've been struggling on videos on like Mondays or Tuesdays. So it's a case of we could start doing the Tuesday uploads for them.
Yeah, that would be a very good idea. Yeah. Because I've been thinking about how to do that, and I think that's probably how I'm going to do them, because, well, doing a video for each episode, well, that would take ages.
Yeah, true.
that would take me well into the new year. At which point I'd have a bit of a backlog.
Just a tiny one.
So yeah, I think with all the shows, I'm going to either cover them from where I left off if they started if they were midway through during the strike, or in the other cases, I'm going to just cover them in their entirety in one video. Which means, yes, those videos may be slightly longer, but I'll definitely get my thoughts across on the season of said show as a whole in that video. So yeah, that's how I'm going to tackle that. Very good question.
Okay, we've got to think of it somehow, and it's easier for me to ask you on these podcasts called lobbies.
Yeah. Plus, it gives you guys a bit of an insight into how we come up with video ideas as well.
Because the majority of this is mainly we type it out to each other. The only time
Yeah.
like proper planning was about a minimum of a month back, and that was after a minor depressive episode from Cameron's half.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it a depressive episode, more of a stress episode.
I said minor.
Yeah. Should we tell them or leave it for a bit longer?
Leave it for longer because unfortunately we are terrible at suspense.
Most true. Yeah, I can't argue with that in the slightest.
You're excitable, and then I'm just forgetful.
Yeah. Well, no, to be fair, I'm both.
Also true.
Like, I'm excitable, but I also forget things very quickly.
Which is very useful at times.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair. Yeah, just know there is something coming. You'll find out in a few weeks, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah. Where were we again?
Talking about video ideas, and then how this was a good idea to talk about how we do the
Yeah.
planning.
Yes. Yeah. But I'll admit, I've got a bit of a weird one with that as well, because I think there might be a show, or maybe even two, depending on how quick this strike ends, that will be midway through when the strike ends.
Oh yeah.
I'll quickly send you the titles, because, well, again, I don't want to talk about them, but it's possible that they could be midway through when the strike does end.
Oh right.
A
random thing for you though. Just while we're distracted.
Give me a second.
I'm thinking of getting the Minecraft Dungeons and Dragons DLC for Windows.
Honestly, I'm thinking of getting it for mobile.
Well, unfortunately, I can't really play it on my phone, so it's a case of I'm gonna have to get it for
Fair.
But yeah, I'm thinking of it because it does look good.
It does.
And the only time one of the few times I'd spend on Minecraft like that. But
Yeah, I don't really play it much anymore either, to be honest.
I want to get back into a game because the last time I was into a game for a while was Harvestella.
Yeah.
And with that, you can rizz up a unicorn. It's great.
Which just sounds all sorts of bizarre.
It was fine. They're not allowed to go in the house, though.
Fair. Yeah, I've just sent you those show titles because one's starting this week and one has already started. So, don't know what I'm gonna do with those two. I'll figure it out.
For the second one, you should have bombarded them somehow. You should have found a way of getting yourself on it.
Yeah, you see, I can't even talk about it now. But Yeah, I'll figure it out because one's already started and one's starting this week. And yeah, I'll figure that out.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You'll know. Well, I'll obviously let you guys know when the strike's end because that'll be a very big video from me. And then I'll start doing those videos one by one, and then I'll figure out these two along the way.
Yeah, good call.
So the plan isn't 100% airtight, but it's getting there.
It's at least 80%.
But yeah, that's kind of everything that I have for this weekend. What about you?
Yeah, because there's not really much updates to Pokemon or the like, so not many
No,
updates either, except for just I'm back at uni, so uni stuff, really.
fair enough. So, do you want to wrap this one up then?
Yeah, we could put a nice little bow on it.
Alrighty. Thank you all for joining me and Roxanne on this 99th AstoundCast, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. So please, like this stream, subscribe to mine and Roxanne's channels.
I don't
Her
have a name
link is
anymore.
down in the description.
I don't have a name anymore.
Yeah, my mouth just broke then completely. And please click my sub button, which is down there below the video title. Please click both of our sub buttons and our bell icons to get our notifications. Comment as well, because why the heck not? And let me know what you thought of the stream. Please give me a follow on all my social medias. They'll be in the link tree in the description, which you can access by clicking the video title. And that's going to be Roxanne's website. And lastly, please do share the stream with your friends. They can join the infinite loop of liking, subscribing, commenting, following, and sharing, and around and around and around that loop. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with my Doctor Who trailer talk, because I forgot about it completely. Unless we have a fun fact.
I do, thanks to my course now. So
Oh?
there's a place in Brighton called the Lanes, and
Mm-hmm.
a word for like an alleyway, thanks to that, what the locals call them, are Twittons.
Oh.
Twittons is another word for alleyway.
Huh. And I've got 2 fun facts myself. Ha-ha!
You're taking my job. Oh my god.
I've got 2. Well, at least a couple more for the people.
True.
Fact number 1. This is more of a random fact, but Chef Gordon Ramsay, one of the most legendary chefs of all time, did you know he actually started out as a junior football player for the Glasgow Rangers?
Oh wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, back in the mid-80s, he played for the Glasgow Rangers junior team, but due to near constant knee injuries, he gave it up and pursued his ambition for cooking.
Oh wow. So would have seen Gordon Ramsay as a football player if we didn't get him as a chef.
Yeah, I can't lie, his red card record would be off the charts. That would be hilarious.
Something to think about.
And my other, more personal fun fact, well, as you all know, I have hydrocephalus, and as a result, I have a shunt.
Yes.
Would you like to know the name of the person who invented the shunt?
Enlighten me, my good sir.
You'll know the name, but for a very different reason.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Roald Dahl.
No way.
Yeah.
Nah, that's
Yeah. Roald Dahl, beloved children's author, invented the device that's in essence keeping me alive.
I know that there are people who end up saying like, "Oh, this person saved my life." This literally is a person that saved your life for inventing this.
But nah, Roald Dahl invented the shunt.
And on that absolute bombshell of a fact, we will see. Well, I will definitely see you all next week, and you will see Cameron tomorrow.
Yep.
Bye,
And you'll
guys.
see me next week. Bye, everyone.